Have you ever heard of the Schengen Borders Agreement? What is the Schengen Borders Agreement? And what countries are in the Schengen area? Schengen areas permit citizens from certain countries to travel freely to 26 European countries within that Schengen area for up to 3 months for tourism and for business purposes. The United States is in the Schengen Borders Agreement also. But first, let me tell you some countries that are non-Schengen areas, where everything is everything. You can just go, you can hide out, you can do anything you want to. Russia, Romania, Montenegro, Monaco, Moldova, Macedonia, Ireland, Cyprus, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Andorra, Albania, the United Kingdom, and the Vatican City. Also Georgia, not the one in the United States, of course. These are all areas that are not in the Schengen Agreement. Now, except for a couple places that I just told you about, these are areas that you might not want to live in. And so as of June 17, 2019, you no longer need a passport in Brazil. So I need to add them. Serbia, Turkey, Ukraine, San Marino. Now, there are also 10 countries listed as the world's toughest borders. I just came across this article about the world's toughest borders, the world's most bad borders. You can't just walk over. So I want to tell you about the world's toughest border, and you're going to be glad. I hope you'll be as glad as I was, because the United States is listed as one of the most bad borders out there. And that really made me feel good, because I don't want to live in a country with weak borders. I really don't. Here's some of the deadliest borders out there. The Colombia government, they've been accusing Venezuelan government of supporting and harboring the rebels of Colombia. So areas around this border have been attacked. Railways and pipelines get blown up a lot. This is a serious area. This is a seriously dangerous border. That's the Colombia and Venezuela border. Though it's legal to travel to certain parts of Iran and Iraq, if you're found loitering on the border area without a permit or proper documentation, you could easily be in prison for an indefinite time. And if you're deemed a spy, you go to Iran or Iraq prison for life. Also, the Syria-Israel border. I'll just say you may not want to go there. You may want to stay away from this border. It is a tough border. The Pakistan-Afghanistan border is known as the Durand Line. It was once an important trade route back in the, way back in the day. And this area is home of the Taliban. One of the worst and deadliest borders in the world is the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. You might not want to go there. Also, the Sudan and South Sudan border. 2 million people died during a 22-year-long civil war in Sudan, which ended in 2005 AD. After the separation referendum, Southern Sudan separated from Sudan. And Sudan refused to recognize the independence of Southern Sudan. So in the subsequent conflict, thousands of people were displaced from the border and dozens more were killed, some beheaded. So this has turned into 1,350 miles of one of the toughest borders in the world, the Sudan and South Sudan border. Also North Korea and South Korea. They separated in 1948. Two countries, they were at war. So it concluded that war in 1953. No peace treaties were signed, so they're actually still at war. Now it's got a 150-mile border full of military fortifications that are pretty good. And 2 million troops are deployed. That's a lot of troops, so they got a tight border. Some say the more heavily guarded, the better. The Angola and The DP Republic of the Congo. They were once allies a long time ago. But this this relationship soured when a conflict over demarcation rights. Demarcation and ownership took place over offshore oil. And hundreds of thousands of people from both sides faced expulsion from their homes. Women were raped by security forces on both sides. So this 1,560-mile long border is one of the toughest borders to be avoided. You don't want to go there at all costs, especially if you're a woman. The Kenya and Somali are the poorest countries in the world, but they're at civil war because of failure of the states and anarchy of the border. You don't want to mess with them. The other one, the Indian and Pakistan conflict, it can be traced back to 1947. It's the year Pakistan separated from India, so that is very heavily guarded. But also on this list, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most bad borders in the world, and this makes me proud, is the U.S.-Mexican border. It's 1,950 miles long. It's an area where many drug cartel like to hang out. And the drug cartel have caused a whole lot of problems on that border. I'm talking about killings and deaths. Since 2007, about 20,000 people have died at this border. Because when the Mexican government decided to take down these cartels, things got ugly. And so the fight was on. I ran up on this information just at random. I'm doing this video just to say, Americans, you can be proud that we have one of the toughest and most bad borders in the world. Well, this is a Marologic channel. Like, subscribe, think for yourself.